Good morning, peeps. Welcome back to the channel. Some news out there regarding Sentinels. As a couple months back, we covered them and their incredible spending on their esports organization, creators, and of course, in an industry where a lot of esports orgs unfortunately have fallen over the past year or two. A lot of people were concerned, is Sentinels going to go broke? Last time we talked about that, and still even now, very hesitant about where Sen is going in the future. But some big news has now broke as their ownership group is now cash injecting over $3 million back into Sen to keep Sentinels ongoing. Here it is. As CEO Rob Moore posted this, and it was a press release as well, saying that the ownership group of Sentinels is set to continue its support of the organization with a sizable cash injection, which will enable Sentinels to continue to conduct usual operations and expand into new esports endeavors, which is very interesting. We'll see what new esports they can afford to get into with that $3.4 million. The ownership group has made the commitment to invest an additional $3.4 million into the company. Speaking on the injection, Sentinels CEO Rob Moore said, "The investment in the company is a testament to our belief in Sentinels as a brand and the long-term opportunities in esports. We also wanted to provide fans, who are the most important part of our business, the ability to own a share of the company. Our fans have already shown significant support with over $150,000 invested in the company through our crowdfund." And all of this very interesting. I think there's a couple ways to actually look at this. The more skeptical side of this being, okay, we look back at your expenses and what you spend per month, and what they've told us is nearly $700,000 per month is their overhead of what they are spending on players and creators and people who work for the Sentinels organization. And that is an extraordinary amount of money, when I have to assume you're not recouping a lot of that. And when you do have a lot of big names, you're going to be spending a lot of big bucks. At $700,000 a month, you maybe bought yourself 5 more months, maybe, of time. And so we'll see what else comes up. This, to me, I mean, it's great, right? Sentinels has a great big brand. I want them to be in esports. But when your ownership group has to cash inject $3.4 million yourself, because the crowdfund, I think, would be largely looked at as not completing what it wanted to be. If you guys look back at its crowdfund, initially when announced, they wanted to actually sell around 4% of Sentinels to crowdfund, to the public, to buy 4% of those shares at a $30 million valuation, meaning they were trying to raise about $1.2 million. And while they're well short of that, just over 10% of that, $150K raised. So I think that it's okay to ask a lot of questions about Sentinels and their financial status. I think that's fair. But I can't stress enough, we need people like Sentinels. The dominance they have had in Valorant in making a brand name for themselves and branching out to huge names in their time in esports. But can they make it sustainable? It's really cool to have Tens and Tarek and at one point Shroud and many other cool names, but you have to do it affordably. So I take this with a grain of salt. I'm glad the ownership group believes in it and is investing in it and has bought Sentinels more time to turn this ship around and steer it in the right direction. But can they do it? Because you look at the crowdfund and you look at any esports teams who have done this crowdfunding, it really hasn't worked. And of course it's not going to work when people see how FaZe Clan did when they went public. If FaZe Clan went from about 20 bucks down to 15 cents, why would anyone invest in a brand like Sentinels? That's no knock on them. That's a knock on nobody's really interested or seeing the plus side, the profitability, and the future of esports teams right now. So it's a very scary time to be here. Sentinels will remain alive for now, and let's see if they can turn this thing around, guys. What do you think is going to happen? Till next time, take care of yourselves, all right? Drink up. This is my second cup. We'll see you back here soon.